Hello and welcome to the next installment in this Power Rangers color ranking. This time we've got the Pink Rangers and 2 White Rangers as well, because I think I'm only going to do 2 more of this series where I do green and black lumped together, and then I'm going to do extra Rangers. And these ones, they're not Pink Rangers, but they're also not like extra / 6th Rangers, so I'm just going to lump them here with the with the Pink Rangers. And let's just go ahead and start ranking them. You'll notice a theme here. All the other Ranger colors I've done so far have had both men and women. This one, not the case. But we start off with Kim, the first one. A lot of people's first crush. I'm trying to think. So, she's there for a long time, starts it all off. But she doesn't have some of the storyline stuff as some of the others. I mean, she has her send-off one. That's kind of it. This was when Power Rangers storytelling, there's a golden era of storytelling in Power Rangers, and she was not a part of it, so it kind of holds her back a little bit, but I'm going to put her A. Started it all off. Super iconic. Probably the most iconic one. The one most people who don't even know Power Rangers might recognize. But then we move on to her replacement, which was Kat. Was first a cat. Very interesting backstory. I haven't seen stuff with Kat in a while. I'm watching through Power Rangers all again now for a video, so we'll see. She's the one who Tommy actually ends up with. We now know that. That is confirmed. Once and always pretty much confirmed that. But I'm going to put her B. I mean, she's pretty good. She's in the end of Mighty Morphin, and then she's in Zeo. And our send-off is in Turbo, which is bad. That's not a good one. But speaking of Turbo, we get Cassie here. Cassie, I think. Starts off in Turbo, which is a huge hindrance. But like everybody else in Turbo, you see them get a huge boost when they switch over to In Space. Now, is she quite on Kim's level? I think from my memory, every In Space Ranger has, they get enough time to shine. But of all of them, I think she's maybe given the least. Maybe? I don't know. I kind of want to put her B, but then I'm like, are they on the same level? I think she's better than Kat. I might drop Kat down. I don't really care for Kat too much. Let's do that for now. But then we get Kendrick's. First ever on-screen Power Ranger death was hers. I forgot to include Astronema. What's her name? Fuck, I forgot to include her. Well, Kendrick's is definitely S. I mean, really keeps that team together. A really good heart for the team. Really underrated in my opinion. Maybe. I mean, I guess I'm not too in tune with the rest of the fan base, but I'm gonna put her S for sure. But let me add in the one I'm missing. Corone. All right, there she is. Completely forgot about her, which is not a good sign. I mean, her storyline as a whole is probably like S tier. I mean, one of the best Power Ranger villains. But if I'm going strictly off what she does in Pink, I mean, I'd have to look at episode count, but I'm scanning. Has to have the least amount of episodes as an actual Ranger. I'm going to put the end of her redemption, I'm going to put her up in B because of it. Corone in B. Dana Mitchell. Pink Lightspeed Rescue Ranger. Everyone's favorite Nepo baby just gets given a morpher. Lightspeed Rescue. I'm trying to think. Carter, S tier, but one of the reasons I like Carter so much and have him that high is because I just feel like he carries a lesser team in terms of quality around behind him. I kind of want to put her C. She could bump up. I am rewatching all of Power Rangers right now, so some of these that I'm not as familiar with, or it's been a while, I might get reacquainted with and love, and she might be one of them, but I think right now I got to put her C. But then we move on to Jen. And I think Jen is pretty comfortably S. I think she's widely regarded as the greatest Pink Ranger. there's several first female leaders in Power Rangers. I would probably, I'm trying to think, because if we count the Alien Rangers, then yeah, the White Alien Ranger is. If we don't, then it's like Taylor was kind of the leader in Wild Force, but that's after. Oh, that's after. That's right. I'm getting my timelines wrong. So yeah, Jin is probably the true first leader, female leader of a Power Ranger team. The backbone of the whole story with her and Wes kind of carrying the storytelling burden amongst the Rangers. Although Time Force is a great season, and I think most of the Rangers there, maybe not Lucas, but for the most part, I mean Time Force is an S tier season, but Jin is a huge reason as to why. Just girl boss, and is the reason that I was worried about them kind of doing a female Red Ranger now, because I felt they might have made a statement of it. I won't get to it because Amelia, we're just looking at her as pink, but I think it did work. She did work as a Red Ranger. And the reason I had no problems, I mean, I don't think I would have had a problem without Jin, but the reason that it should have been a no-brainer that's something that Power Rangers could look into or should do is because Jin excelled so much as the leadership role. It would have been very easy to envision a female Red Ranger. But then we move on to Alyssa, who I think is technically a White Ranger, but her season didn't have a pink. Like I said earlier, nowhere real place to put them. So I'm including her here. And I don't remember too much from her. I know that she kind of balances like school life and the Ranger life, so there's a huge relatability there for her. But other than that, I don't remember too much, but that is kind of a big thing, doing that. And I went to school and worked for a while, so that I can relate to her fairly well. She's better than these ones, I think, but she's definitely not better than these ones. I might drop them down even further. Am I going to drop Kat all the way from... No, I'm just going to drop Dana down. Dana down. And then Syd. Syd, I think, is the first Pink Ranger I ever watched, because Dino Thunder was the first season I watched. No Pink Ranger in it. Next one was SPD. Syd, we talk about the being really Pink being like the girly girl of the Power Rangers, but like not too many of them truly are that, but Syd is. But she still shows, to be capable of being a Power Ranger. Some interesting stuff with like, where she comes from and like how that shapes her, and how she doesn't, she maybe didn't have it as hard as everyone else, but she's still out here trying to do good and be a Ranger. I do like Syd a lot. I'm going to put her B, if I'm being honest. Vida, Mystic Force. Huge crush on her sister, Madison, in the show. But Vida was also really good, real punk rock Ranger. Was the kind of like the big sister to Madison, but was also kind of like the big sister to Chip. She had two really solid relationships with two of the Rangers in the team. That goes a pretty long way. She has one of the better episodes where she meets a monster that's not evil, and she tries to she does her best to let it live, and sees past the monster exterior and tries to push that, for the team to do the same. I'm going to put her B, though. Just, that everything I said, that's pretty much it. There's not much there to really push her forward as much. And then Rose. So Rose might have been the best Ranger on her season, but her season sucked in Operation Overdrive, so it's always kind of tough to put that type of Ranger there where it's like, okay, you were the best of that season, but the season wasn't good, so it kind of limits you, and I kind of want to put her C. I get that she was the brainy one of the bunch, but I'm going to put her C. And then we have a Samurai Ranger. And then Emma from Megaforce. Again, this is a really bad season, and she wasn't necessarily... Is she on tier with Dana? I'm going to put her F, and it's... you know what? Maybe I'll put her D. I mean, I remember having a crush on her when I first watched it, so I think those points are going to help boost her up here. But, Megaforce, Super Megaforce, really lackluster seasons. But it's no fault of the cast. And, Emma was cool, real nature-y vibe. Would have belonged in Wild Force. That would have done great in that Captain Planet season. And then Shelby. So Shelby, is she the best Dino Charge Ranger? Maybe. I don't think I'm as high as Coda as other people are. But is she S tier? She's definitely the best part of her season, but is she quite S tier? I don't think so. I really do like her, but I think I'm going to put her A. And I think, some of the Neo-Sabanisms is probably what's holding her back a little bit. But definitely a really strong character. Was the focus of the beginning of Dino Charge. I can't remember how long that stays true, but it worked very well. She really did help push the story along and showing that desire to want more with her life. I'm going to put her A. Sarah. Is this no, it's not. Rose. I was going to say, is this the first brainy Pink Ranger? But Rose was as well, and Kendrick was. So I was about to say something really dumb. But she definitely, we see her kind of play around with her own gadgets, which, is cool, I guess. But doesn't really do much outside of that. There's the one episode of her extending herself too much, so they kind of play with that, but that doesn't really do much. Is she C? Is she better than these two? I'm going to put her C, but I'm going to put her running mate here, who, again, White Ranger, but I'm going to include him. I'm going to put Haley D. I'm trying to think if there was anything outside of her relationship with Calvin that's sticking out to me, and there's really not. God, I just can't remember much about her, and I even didn't hate Ninja Steel. I thought it was bad, but in a good way. It was just bad that it became funny. But yeah. But then Amelia. We're looking just at her time as Pink. One of the bigger twists at the ends with her being Ravkonian, but I maybe would have. I don't like how they handled the Ravkonian stuff afterwards, and maybe they should have revealed it a little sooner and played with it a little bit more. But her ghost hunting was a really good quirk that I enjoyed. Her rivalry into relationship with Ollie, I actually did really buy into. So I think I'm gonna put Amelia A. And then I guess just my quick opinion on her is Red, because I think my Red Ranger one in this series came out afterwards. She was a solid Red, wasn't challenged much, so it was just there was no challenges, so nothing was made a point of it, this promotion of hers, so it didn't seem to really matter. I would have put her B, maybe C if I'm looking at the Reds, because Red's a stacked color. Red is a fucking stacked color. But I'll put her A. And then Kimberly from the 2017 movie. I think I say this every single time I see the 2017 movie. I'm permanent basis, they're a tier higher than where they would go, but it is only one movie. And if I'm thinking, so the 2017 movie was pushed, was done very well with the cast. The cast as well, I thought they all worked together. The two Rangers that pushed the story the most and you connected with the most were Jason and Billy. The third one I say, though, is Kimberly, and I think she has done pretty well. I think I would put her A, but I think I do have to hold her back a little bit because it's only one movie, so I'm going to have to put her B. Would have loved to seen that group continue. Needed an overhaul of the aesthetic of the movie. But Kimberly from the 2017 movie, I'm going to put B. Would have loved to see more continuation. But this is the first tier list that I think works pretty well in terms of distribution, because usually I kind of have just a load of shit on top and then just a couple down here. But this one's distributed pretty well. I'm trying to think. There's no bad characters actually in Pink. I put every Samurai Ranger here because I fucking hate Samurai. The stuff I remember seeing from her was this is dumb. But yeah, this is the best distribution I've ever seen. Jen's obviously number one if I always want me to rank the S, which I think I've been doing. Jen's number one for sure. I almost want to put Jen by herself and then just drop everyone down a tier because I feel like the gap is that big. But I'm going to put Kendrick's S because if I'm just scaling it back a little bit and just thinking as holistically like this, it is where she belongs. Any notes? Yeah, like I was saying, there's no bad character in Pink. I'm trying to think. There's Justin's a bad Blue Ranger. Jaden, Troy are bad Red Rangers. Yellow Rangers, I don't think there was a bad Yellow Ranger. A truly bad Yellow Ranger. There's just forgettable ones, but nothing that's actually genuinely bad. But yeah, this is my list. Tell me your opinion. Tell me which ones you agreed with most, which ones you disagreed with most. Go ahead and like this video. I've got a lot of more shit coming out soon, so subscribe to see it. And as always, keep gaming.